Let's get into the latest Cleveland Browns rumors, and we'll start things off with Jamar Taylor. Did he rework his contract prior to the trade? 4 heads here, Tom.
Yeah, so his base salary dropped from $4.25 million to under $1 million. Cap number decreased by 2.75. Might be a little bit of a playing there with some of the roster bonuses and signing bonuses there is what happened. And this was a good move for Taylor because he was going to get cut by the Browns had he not agreed to rework his deal. Because they had been trying like heck to shop him. They had talks with the Cardinals. That it went for a 2026 round pick is pretty noticeable. In general, when you're valuing draft picks, you value them a year, either a year later, 1 round less. So this is like a 2019 6th round pick. Or a undrafted free agent from the most recent NFL draft class. So that's kind of what's going on there. But yes, he did agree to rework his deal to work out a deal with the Cardinals.
And Jamar Taylor out there in Arizona now. All right, let's go to rumor number 2. Baker Mayfield, is he the reason for historically high secondary ticket demand here, Tom? We're talking about a really high value according to ticketiq.com. 3 Goodell heads here because who else would it be? Carlos Hyde? No
Tyrod Taylor.
Hyde.
I think in general there's a little bit more hope around the Cleveland Browns based on that average secondary ticket market sales. It's the highest they've seen in a decade. So that's a very good sign for the Browns. I mean, you're talking go back to 2015 or 2017, it was $105. Now it's $140. So that's a pretty significant increase for the Browns on the ticket sales side of things, at least in the secondary market. I think Baker Mayfield is a big reason there, but it's not because the team overall has provided more hope for the Cleveland Browns franchise, which has dealt with a very heavy factory of
It can't
sadness.
just be one guy.
Yeah, so it's a whole lot of different things with the Browns. There's actually hope around this franchise, but Baker Mayfield is a big part of that.
And perhaps Tyrod Taylor provides some hope. Will he be the starter in Week 1? We're going to give it 3 Goodell heads here because we can't give it 4, Tom. Way too early to just say he's the starter.
I mean, well, maybe Tyrod Taylor is a disaster in the preseason, or even if he gets hurt, that's kind of where things change, but I really think it's going to be Tyrod Taylor to start the season. Hue Jackson, who we'll mention here in a little bit, he has to win right now. Like, he cannot afford a 0-8 start and then make the change to a first-year quarterback and win 4 games down the stretch and save his job. Like, he's got to win early and often, or else the Browns will be like, look, man, you're like 1-40. You got to go. So Hue Jackson has to win now, and as much as I do think Baker Mayfield is a pro-ready quarterback, I do think Tyrod Taylor gives him the best chance to win right now.
I agree.
Even though it's not quite the best thing for the long term, I think Baker's ready to go, at least in terms of rookie quarterbacks, but I think it's going to be Tyrod Taylor early in the season.
Hit us up in the reaction poll. Heart for Tyrod Taylor and a like for Baker Mayfield. Into rumor number 4 we go. Hard Knocks will perhaps help with team chemistry. Total spin zone here by Tyrod Taylor. 3 heads, though.
Does it, though?
I think maybe.
I don't. 2 heads on this one, actually.
Excuse me, I'm a moron. 2 heads.
Yeah.
I knew what I was talking about.
Quote from Cam. We will clip that up and put it on Twitter later. Like, does it, though? Like, I get that Taylor's spinning it and being like, oh, yeah, now we can get together, until the coaching staff rips on one player with the mics on him and then that player feels bad because it was behind closed doors, or they're trash-talking somebody else, or someone plays to the camera way too much and it upsets everybody else. Like, I don't know if it's actually going to improve team chemistry. The overall preseason does improve team chemistry, but I don't know how being on a Hard Knocks helps things. So I think 2 is generous, Cam.
All right, firmly in the rumor category there. Let's go
with 1.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's go to rumor number 5 here. David Njoku to perhaps be a better blocker in 2018. 3 heads here because as he finished the season, Tom, he got better.
But this still kind of sounds a little bit like best shape of my life season.
All right.
Like, that's kind of what this sounds like to me. Like, oh, yeah, I'm a better blocker now. Well, of course you are. Like, what are you going to say? Oh, I got worse in the offseason? Like, I didn't do any blocking practice?
Stats don't lie, man. That Pro Football Focus grade there.
I think he's a better blocker. I hope he is, because I think he has a chance to be a really good dynamic tight end for the Browns, which you got to be able to block in the NFL too.
Sure.
So I do think he's better, but it's also kind of like, well, duh. What are you going to say? Nah, I haven't practiced any blocking. I've just been sitting around playing Fortnite all night.
Well, maybe. Could be an Albert Hainsworth situation. Who knows?
Good point.
We've seen it before. Let's go to rumor number 6 here. Hue Jackson and his job security. Is it in trouble? Obviously, for heads. The question is, Tom, is he going to get fired at some point?
I think so. Look, you have often liked to make fun of me for my very blunt note-taking as we go through our prep work for the show here.
I love that note.
And I've written down here, well, no shit. Like, of course Hue Jackson's job security is in trouble. This is actually 18 Goodell heads. Like, off the scale, all the way over to the right.
We're off the graphic.
I don't even know. He's 1-31. How did he even keep his job last year? Like, I know the Browns were terrible, but, like, surely you could have won more than just one game in the NFL. He totally botched the handling of Deshaun Kaiser. That's the issue for me with the Browns. So there's got to be just a very thin layer of ice that he's standing on right now. No room for error. If he starts the year 0-8 or even 0-6 or 0-7, don't you just fire him
with that team? You got to.
Don't you just fire him?
Yeah. And
get an early jump start on finding your next head coach? So I think it's only a matter of time before Hue Jackson gets fired. I really do. And that brings me to a question for you, Cam.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the first NFL head coach fired this year? Will it be Hue Jackson or is it going to be somebody else? Because I think it's going to be Hue. I just don't see how he lasts.
I really hope it's Dirk Cutter, to be honest with you. I mean, that's what we're cheering for.
You're a man after my heart, Cam.
There you go, Tom. You know, I know how to get in good graces with you. So be sure to let us know in comments on Facebook Live as well as YouTube who will be the first NFL head coach to be fired in 2018. We'll see what Browns fans think about Hue Jackson and his job security.